Question 2. A mother 5 years ago was 7 times older than a daughter. How old are they presently? And then, if the mother is presently 30 years older than her daughter. Now, this is another beautiful question and word problem involving linear equation. Now, for you to understand this, you just really need your use of English or your command of English to be quite up to par. So how do we solve this? Now, don't forget all the terminologies given are going to be mainly applicable here. Now, let's say a mother 5 years ago. Now, what does 5 years ago, what does it mean? Now, let's analyze it. We're going to analyze it in two ways. First of all, 5 years ago, what happened 5 years ago? And then 5 years after, which is going to be the present. So 5 years ago, let's analyze what happened 5 years ago or what the whole thing looked like 5 years ago. So 5 years ago, a mother was 7 times older than a daughter. So let's assume that 5 years ago, the mother, since we are not given, their ages were not mentioned. So there's a mother, there's a daughter here, there's a mother, and there's a daughter. So 5 years ago, if the mother was 7 times older than the daughter, now what we're analyzing right here is what the whole scenario looked like 5 years ago. So if the mother was 7 times older than the daughter, that means the daughter, let's say the daughter is X years old 5 years ago, and the mother was 7x years old. Don't forget, 7 times is 7 times x, which is 7 years old, 7x years old, I mean. So this is 5 years ago. So let's give an example. This is an instance. If the daughter was 2 years old 5 years ago, that means the mother was 14 years old. Now that was 5 years ago. Now let's see what's going to happen or what the whole thing looks like 5 years presently. That's 5 years after. 5 years after or 5 years later. 5 years later or 5 years after. What does it mean? Now, if 5 years after, what does that mean? 5 years after, the mother is going to be what? 5 years would have been added to their ages, mother and the daughter. So 5 years after, the mother will be 7x plus 5 years old, while the daughter will be 5 years older also, so x plus 5 years old this time around. So they said, now look at the question. How old are they presently and then if the mother is presently 30 years older than her daughter? Now, so that's presently means 5 years after. So she's 30 years older. That means for you to get the mother's age, you have to add 30 years to the daughter's age. If somebody is 30 years older than you, it means if you are 10 years old, the person will be 10